Let's get it.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Keep the where you're from coming in the chat. I love reading them and just seeing where everyone's from. Currently where Jesse and I are from, we are in Seattle and it's raining cats and dogs, so that's why I kept on putting them rain signs. So hopefully you're staying good and well wherever you are joining us from. Alrighty. So, welcome to our March 2026 Champions Community Call. So, first, our digital event code of conduct. Our mission here is to, be kind, be welcoming, to at least in our calls, to be kind and welcoming to everyone on this call. So, we encourage everyone to assist in creating this welcoming and safe environment for everyone. If you have more questions on what more this is about, then you can check out that ak.ms/code of conduct. But do want to remind everyone that if you have questions for us today, anytime throughout our call, feel free to use, and we encourage you to use the Q&A function. On the upper tab, you'll see the Q&A and can insert your questions for us there, whether it's for us or for our speakers today. And that'll help us better funnel our answers for your questions as well. So please do use that. So our agenda today, I have some announcements, some top Microsoft 365 updates, and then we have our lovely speaker as well as folks from his team to help us with questions today, presenting on agent mode and brand kit. And then we have our open discussion where you can ask us your top questions. Alrighty, in community announcements, it is coming up very, very soon, next month, almost exactly a month from today. We have the upcoming Microsoft 365 Community Conference. This is going to be back in Orlando, Florida this year, and you're going to be able to meet other, Microsoft enthusiasts, Microsoft employees, as well as see Microsoft leaders and hear about the upcoming, latest product releases and latest trends in AI and more. So plus we're going to be at a very, fun-filled, theme park-filled area of the U.S., which is Orlando. And this is actually the Lowe's Sapphire Falls, Lowe's Royal Pacific Resorts is actually, I believe, on the Universal Studios area. And so you can, as well as indulge in your amusement park joys if you like that as well. So definitely going to be a great fun time. Highly encourage everyone to join us to meet me, Jesse, and Caruana as well there at the M365 Community Conference. So feel free to check out that link on my slide here to learn more. Alrighty, so next, Customer Hub. We have some upcoming Microsoft 365 Copilot webinar that we wanted to highlight. And essentially, if you haven't heard about them already, we talk about them quite a bit here, but they're essentially free instructor-led online courses or sessions about a certain topic. So they're not only limited to Copilot, there's actually Customer Hubs for other Microsoft products as well. But essentially, you can be part of this instructor-led free training, or if you don't have the necessary right time to join at that specific time, you can also join on demand and be part of that course. Again, it's 100% free and highly encourage everyone to, take advantage of these sessions. So feel free to check out ak.ms/customer hub sessions. Alrighty, Jesse, I'm going to bring you on. Yes, I shared with everyone last month that you were in Hobbiton and I was enjoying all your fun adventures from far away. And then, and you're also in Hobbiton right now virtually. So happy to have you back.
As much as I love you all, I do wish I was back in Hobbiton because honestly, that sounds like the best life ever. So, hi everyone, Jesse Huang here. I'm on the same team as Tiffany Lee, and we work on the customer advocacy group under Caruana Katimu here in M365. So, if you don't know who I am, what I do, well, you know who I am now, but I manage and curate all the content for adoption.microsoft.com, otherwise known as AMC, because we love our acronyms. Every month, I bring a kind of highlights of what we've updated across the site, Now, keep in mind, we do updates at least twice a week, sometimes more, depending on whether or not we have an event. So this is just a small smattering of all the stuff that we do. We do have release notes. There's an RSS feed you can subscribe to. So you definitely check those out. But the four big items I wanted to flag between last month and this month is that we had the SharePoint at 25 birthday event. Whoa, right? Quarter of a century for SharePoint. Still looking great. There was a really fun global digital event, a look back of all the amazing milestones that SharePoint has gone through, what's ahead from Jeff Teeper and the leadership out there. And there's hackathon videos as well. So check the link. Go look at watch the recordings. I think there should be decks that you can download. All that's good stuff out there, just like usual. We also launched the M365 Copilot app microsite on AMC. So these microsites are meant to be one-stop shops for skilling assets, resources, how to train your team, how to talk to your leadership about the value of Copilot or any of the technology and apps that we manage. So take a look at that. That's new. Again, this is the first launch. We were constantly updating content twice a week. We also have a lot of new Frontier announcements and resources. And actually, there's a new updated site that's coming for Frontier soon, I believe. I don't have a date on that. And if I do, it's under NDA, so I can't talk about it. But I can tell you there are more changes coming. So check that out. A lot of items are marked new on there, so you can scan the page and see what's actually been updated since last time. Last item, we have Agent Factory resources now on the Microsoft Copilot Studio page. That's also undergoing a lot of renovation. I think of AMC like a house, and each of the pages are like a different room. So a lot of changes are coming there as well. And with M365 Community Conference coming in April, there will be a lot of stuff getting announced. So there will be a lot more updates coming across AMC. As always, subscribe to our RSS feed or the release notes. The release notes are a tad late at the moment just because I was off in Hobbiton and I manually update those. So those updates are coming soon, I promise. With that, I'll hand it back to you, Tiffany. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Jessie. We appreciate your updates and happy to have you back. So yes, back to myself, and I'm going to bring over our top Microsoft 365 updates. So now first, in Microsoft OneDrive, we have a fun update that I'm excited to see. Now, there is this new feature called AI Restyle in OneDrive where you basically can upload your picture and transform your, everyday photos, maybe your, picture. If you have, children, your picture with their children. For, Jesse and myself, since we have dog children, we can have dog children pictures, but we can transform them into, like artwork or anime style inspired scenes, and just, choose a different style and be able to just customize that and be, and have fun with it. So again, a fun update that I like to just sprinkle in, but this is available for in OneDrive for iOS, Android, web for customers with the Microsoft 365 premium subscriptions. Availability may vary as region as rollout continues, but look forward to this in a OneDrive just as something fun that you could try. Alrighty, next. This is super helpful for me, and I believe it'll be helpful for you all. If you're anything like me, I'm always like, where's this file from 6 months, 1 year ago? And then maybe I remember the title, maybe not. So I, explore my brain looking for it. But now there's going to be this feature where you can see your team's files in grid view. So you're going to be able to see that first slide in your PowerPoint or like a kind of, image of perhaps your Word document. And that's going to be immensely helpful, at least to me, because then I can actually correlate, especially if you're more like imagery focused person, you'll remember, oh yeah, that's what that title slide looks like. You'll remember that presentation a lot better. And just, when you're eyeballing and searching for something, you can more easily pick that out from a splur of files rather than just the file name. So again, really helpful update, and hopefully you all, get to see that update soon. Alrighty. next, and my last update before I hand it off to our speaker today is within SharePoint, we have this structured document generations with forms now in preview. So this is really exciting for me because, and I believe for many of you folks as well, is you're going to be able to create these like AI assistant document templates without code, be able to generate documents from these structured form inputs, be able to share form links, and essentially just imagine if you work in HR, there's always these onboarding documents that you're going to be sending out to folks that you're onboarding and they would fill out their information, et cetera, et cetera. Now you're going to be able to have these like templates and be having them, be this structured template that you could use and have your coworkers that work in HR all use the same one. And if you wanted to, create more information or add those, or ask for more, items in, you can just ask it to, edit your document for you and have that be that template that you all go to. And then similarly, let's say, if you're in legal and you deal with audit reports for if you're in government or for other entities, again, you can have this like structure generated, template that you can use for your audit reports and et cetera. If you're in the field and you do like actual, sales reports or customer intake forms, et cetera, et cetera. There's many ways where, you can use a template in your role. And so I think it's really cool to just try this structured document generation out, be able to share with your colleagues on, what you've generated or what you think this should be the go-to without you actually having to create every piece of the process and design that. And please note that a Microsoft 365 Copilot license is required to build these forms and workflows, but you don't need it to generate document using the template. So feel free to check my link out on my slide to learn more about what there is that this entails. But again, excited to use it for our team, and hopefully you can also try it out when using yours. Alrighty, so next I'm going to bring on Anubhav to talk to us today about PowerPoint editing with Copilot, Brand Kit, and image generation. And then feel free to take over my slides as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany. A couple of great updates actually from Teams, OneDrive, and SharePoint. Looks really exciting. So today we're going to talk about Edit with Copilot, or erstwhile Agent Mode, as we had kind of continued to call it internally, and Brand Kit, and bunch of Imagen. So latest and greatest of what is coming from PowerPoint, already released or rolling out soon. These would be things that you can pretty much go ahead and try your hands on today. And I have my colleagues, Samantha, Chatin, and Chirag also on the call. So if you have any questions, please use Q&A forum so we can get to it, pass on relevant details. And if we don't find time like during the call also, maybe you could come back with more detailed understanding if you'd require any of those pieces. So with that, let me get us started. What's new with PowerPoint? So as I said, a large part of our today's conversation is going to be about Edit with Copilot mode. And I'm sure some of us might have had an opportunity to try it out because it's already there out with PowerPoint web application and also very soon rolling out on desktop apps. For those who are new to it, let me start with a demo video of sorts. That gives a fair idea of what are the capabilities coming in and how do you kind of make best use of the capabilities that are now going to be available with Edit with Copilot mode.
PowerPoint Agent is your intelligent presentation partner that transforms brief requests into polished decks. Let's create a sales training deck about our new products launching in July. The agent guides me with smart questions. It doesn't ask for everything, just the few details that make the biggest difference in how personalized and relevant the first draft is. While I'm responding, it finds relevant brand templates, making it easy for me to simply confirm instead of searching for them myself. Seeing the outline jogs my memory about new competitors, so I ask the agent to include those details. I like how the agent figures out the best parts of the outline to incorporate this content. The outline looks good, so I ask the agent to generate the slides. The slides look great. The agent applied my brand kit, brand template, brand voice, brand images, brand fonts, and brand logo. My colleague reviews the deck and suggests adding a slide about our newly updated product tagline. I ask the agent to create the slide, and the agent selects the layout and image that best emphasizes the message. I ask the agent to edit the image and add a product, and it seamlessly integrates the product into the image. Another colleague sends me a deck of case studies. I copy and paste all the slides and ask the agent to keep the top 2 case studies that best address common sales objections, and restyle those slides to match the rest of the deck. It also finds on-brand images to support each case study. I get an update that our training meeting was shortened to 30 minutes, so I ask the agent to shorten the speaker notes. The agent intelligently summarizes the narrative and preserves the core message. Next, we learn that the product launch date has moved from July to May. The agent finds every instance of the date across the deck and updates them. At the end of the day, I open the file and see that my colleagues have made many changes. So I ask the agent to check the changes against brand guidelines and make the necessary changes to the font styles, colors, and more. Because this deck will be used by sales teams in the US and Canada, I ask the agent to translate it into French and Spanish. Thanks to PowerPoint Agent, I stay focused on what the deck should say. The agent handles how it gets built and makes smart decisions at every step.
Well, wasn't that like awesome set of capabilities that we were expecting from agent? So as you can see, this covers the true power of editing with Copilot in PowerPoint, right from creating a presentation to editing images to being able to pivot the deck for, let's say, I mean, you saw example of how it was effectively able to kind of fine-tune your speaker notes even for a given amount of time, right? But I understand the video went pretty fast, and we would want to spend some more time to, basically talk about how it really works so that you can, while you are trying, can kind of test it to its limits actually. So agent mode, or as we call it now, edit with Copilot, it basically takes a user request and breaks it down into a sequence of things that needs to happen to get that job done, right? So it basically has a full agentic loop where agent, based on whatever intention or the user prompt has been received, creates a plan, executes it, utilizing the capabilities and the tools available, reviews the outcome, and then if the results are not matching the original intention or the job to be done, it again do a cycle of kind of getting to the final outcome that users were expecting. So yeah, I think a bunch of call outs that we would want to specifically mention is that PPT edit with Copilot mode is able to handle complex asks. So you could imagine a very complex looking prompt like make all titles green and then also change the narrative or slide number 5 and then bunch of other stuff. So edit with Copilot mode is able to kind of deconstruct all those complex instructions into a plan and thoroughly execute it across different slides as applicable. Another salient factor is that it's always grounded with the information that is at its disposal, be it your work information or your business context, the web search, and also grounded into the current presentation that you're working with. Last but not the least, we have heard this feedback time and again that when we're working in our corporate setup, we always want to make sure that our presentations are on brand. We are using the right kind of assets which are available in the enterprise repository. So edit with Copilot mode is always on brand. It'll look for the available assets and will try to create presentation and slides which are more aligned with your organization's guideline. So with that, let's keep moving and look at another powerful use case or a scenario that I think a lot of us have been waiting for. So let me play the video for you.
PowerPoint Agent Mode helps you turn plain text into engaging infographics, smart art, charts, and other visuals. I ask Agent Mode to review the 2 previous slides and generate an infographic that compares them. Agent Mode incorporates images from the previous slides and generates icons that represent the key points. Now, let's turn this list of bullet points into a timeline. Agent Mode uses smart art and applies brand colors. Now, let's turn this unstructured data into a chart. PowerPoint Agent correctly interprets the data and generates an editable chart.
Awesome. So as you can see, now you now you have smart alerts and charts which are natively integrated into PowerPoint and editable. So if you want to make some changes to it, it's like pretty handy. Uh, Moving quickly to the next section where we also wanted to talk about, because this is very new, we just wanted to make sure that we have shared everything that you would want to know of how exactly you can go and try it out. So here is how to launch Edit with Copilot. Uh, Pardon me for some of the screens because they still say agent mode, and we are iterating on this user experience to make it much more cleaner. And that's where basically one of the changes that you'll see is agent mode is now called Edit with Copilot. So you have this Copilot button on the ribbon, and when you click onto it, you today will get into the Copilot chat experience. And within the chat experience, you'll have a drop down under Tools button where you could click on Edit with Copilot in the drop-down menu, and that takes you to the last screen where you will see a message saying you can create an Edit with Copilot now. As I said, we are trying to kind of further refine and kind of make it lesser number of steps needed. So one of the change which will be coming very soon is that when you launch Copilot using the ribbon button, it will directly take you to the edit mode so that you don't need to kind of hunt for that option under the tools menu. This change is also going to be available very soon. Last quick check. Here is this kind of trick question. How to know that you are in edit mode. So within the chat box, you will see this PPT icon looking in the bottom left corner of it. So when you see this, you can be 100% sure that what you're working with is agent or Edit with Copilot mode and not the general purpose chat interface. So look for this icon, make sure that you are into Edit with Copilot while trying some of the scenarios that we generally just demoed and talked about. And here are some of the things to try. As I mentioned, Edit with Copilot has already started rolling out to PPT web application. And here are a couple of things that you could, like just after this call, maybe give a try, share your feedback, pass it on to us, and test it out to its capabilities. With that, I also wanted to spend some time on how Copilot edit mode is able to kind of leverage whatever brand related information or assets are already there, and always strives to kind of create slides or presentation which are closer to your brand or matches the assets or the styles that are followed and what are recommended in an organization setup, right? So the big important differentiator or how we have imagined agent mode is that it is on brand by default. So PPT agent mode, Edit with Copilot looks for your templates. If you have configured your brand kits, it further helps agent to kind of be more smarter about the creative choices that it makes. What it means is it respects your templates, it respects your brand kits, and you can basically upload your brand guidelines, icons, assets, all of these, and then give the agent the ability to pull those in the right time, in the right form and shape to create the beautiful presentations and the slides that you would be trying to kind of work with. So having no template is going to be like you are practically sharing no information with agent, and agent at least needs to know what are your preferences around the layouts, the structures, the slide types. And you can imagine, let's say, brand kit being the another extreme where you have basically fully loaded all the enterprise related considerations that you would have into your brand kit, and now agent can make best use of that. So for some of us who might be relatively new to brand kit, we just wanted to also spend a bit of time to help you understand how it works and how it will help you kind of create the kind of outcomes that we that are closer to your organization's brand direction. So typically there are three types of brand kits. There could be an official brand kit that allows for a brand manager, or let's imagine an IT admin to set that up. And then it could be deployed for pretty much everyone in the organizations. Then there could be shared brand kits. A shared brand kit would be, it could be shared with specific group of people that you're, let's say, working with. And it really solves for the collaboration that generally happens when we are working on a presentation, right? There would be many contributors to a presentation, and having a brand kit which is shared among this group of people working on artifact really helps to kind of keep the presentations on brand. And then there could be personal brand kits. So let's imagine, as an individual, if you have a certain style of doing your presentations or creating slides in a particular manner, that itself can be kind of exported in form of a personal brand kit, and you could continue to use it as and when you kind of use Edit with Copilot agent mode. Okay, with that, let's get a bit deeper into what brand kits really are, right? Based on the information available, brand kit and in conjunction with Edit with Copilot PPT agent is trying to understand the layouts, the structures that you prefer. It is also trying to understand what kind of slide types are available. What is your preferred way of putting up a table, or what slide with, let's say, an image and text looks like. It also goes further deeper to understand what are your preferred, so to say, style of text boxes. How do you manage your list? How do you show a particular text in highlight? What your tables look like? How exactly you would, let's say, prefer to show a smart art, a timeline, or something of that order. So brand kit, as you can see, it encompasses all of your brand guidelines, your layouts, your photography style, the do's and don'ts that you might want to instruct PPT agent on, just to get you, help you visualize what really happens after you have instructed Copilot, the PPT Copilot agent, to do a certain job, right? So as you can see, when a user types a prompt, for example, to create a slide, add a slide to the existing presentation that you're working with, right? Using your template and your brand kit, agent would now extract the information related or required to create that output. It will look for the layouts, the objects, your brand guidelines, and putting it all together, it'll create a slide which adheres to the branding guidelines that you would have. So as I started with, PPT agent has been imagined to be always on brand, so that you may not do a lot of rework that, let's say, today when we work with general purpose agents, the biggest bottleneck is that the presentations are not on our brand, right? With that, we have a small video on how to configure brand kits. So as you can see, it's available under the create, and you could pretty much define colors, font preferences, and assets that you would want to use. If you already have a OAL library, or as we call it, organization asset library, you could link it back to your brand kit also, so that you need not kind of create duplicated content, and you'll be able to understand whatever is available out there already. Awesome. So give it a try. There would be details shared on how you can actually configure it. And brand kits just make agent much more powerful and much more desirable. So we highly recommend using brand kits for all sort of create and edit jobs that you would want to kind of experiment with PowerPoint, Edit with Copilot. Okay, that brings us to the third and another topic of interest, which is around the generation capability of, or rather the creative ability of generating images. So let me very quickly take you to another video.
With the Catalyst release, users can generate contextually relevant visuals directly within WXPO using chat. Users simply type their prompt, and Copilot automatically pulls in and applies relevant context, like the user's theme, selection, and even style preferences. This leverages implicit grounding, drawing from either the full document or a user-selected portion. For example, I select some text and ask Copilot to create an icon that fits perfectly on this slide. The result is a bespoke image that looks professionally crafted specifically for your slide or document every single time.
So I hope you got a hang of it through the video. Unfortunately, it kind of was breaking for me. So what really is the meta point? Now what you will see is that when you generate an image in chat, not only it's the Copilot is aware of what content you have on your slide, it also looks for what theme you have been applying to a bunch of other artifacts. And what makes it particularly powerful is that now you can select a text on slide, and based on that, you'll if you try to kind of generate an image for that, it knows the context of the current slide selection and tries to match the style also. Right. So this again is going to be, I think, has been a lot requested feature to make image more aware and more contextual to the current presentation. Give it a try. And if there are any questions or thoughts that you might have, please use Q&A to park your questions. We'll get back to those. In the interest of time, I'm quickly getting to the other image-related capability that we now have in PowerPoint Copilot. And it's about how quickly you could edit images that you might have. Maybe there's an image that you copied, you found a valuable image in someone else's presentation. Now you're bringing to your deck, or you just wanted to kind of quickly get a web searched image and are trying to use it in one of your presentations. There have been these needs of trying to kind of maybe just remove the background of that image, or maybe the image doesn't look that great. Can I kind of upscale it? So all of those image editing options are now available within the PowerPoint app. So maybe we'll just start with a small video that kind of covers a bunch of capabilities that are now available within PowerPoint. So as you can see, there are a bunch of new edit capabilities that are now available through AI-powered image editing feature. We are rolling it out on desktop. Web and Mac releases would be coming soon. And in case you missed, there are some of the much desired capabilities that we wanted to kind of bring in within the application. So you could possibly imagine, let's say, removing a background, upscaling an image, being able to erase the unwanted areas of image that you have picked up from somewhere, and also edit text if there are some typos, if there are some corrections that you would want to make on the images that you have working with. You could now do it within the application, within the PowerPoint app itself. And last but not the least, there are a bunch of curated customizable effects. Glass effects is something that I tend to use a lot. So all of that is now available within the PowerPoint app. Give it a try, and do let us know if some of these features are getting the love and attention from you. With that, last request, please test it out, share your feedback. We always are open to kind of get more inputs and suggestions of how we can kind of make our product more useful for you, and join the Frontier program. Frontier is where our latest updates would get first, and you will get an early insights into what is coming, what is cooking. So, if it's possible for you, join our Frontier program. With that, I'll hand it back to Tiffany to take us through the rest of the agenda. Thank you.
Awesome. What exciting updates from Anubhav. And I know we have tons of questions for this topic today. So I will get through the rest of my slides and then we can go forward. Alrighty, so first, let me go with our upcoming community events. Of course, you heard me already talk earlier about the Microsoft 365 Community Conference. It's going to be in next month in Orlando, Florida. But there's also a slew of other events that are happening across the community space. First would be the Community Days in Quebec and Canada. I always have a heart out for these community days events because usually they are held by local organizers and most of the time they're free or very nominal fee, like $10, $20 US. And they're usually like one-day events that you can participate in your local region. So there's actually quite a few community days coming up, such as the community days in St. Louis as well, and others. So feel free to check out a community day event or community day near you. So next, we also have Agent Con in Seoul, South Korea in April 16th, and then as well as in a European Collaboration Summit in Cologne, Germany, May 5th to 7th, and as well as the TechCon 365 Chicago in June 15th to 19th. TechCon is part of a series of events that are also all named TechCon in different cities, usually in the US. And so yeah, check out that. That's usually a multi-day event and really great Microsoft employees as well as others within the tech space all are in TechCon. So, all right, if you wanted to learn more about upcoming events or perhaps promoting your events, so your event can be also showcased in our slides here as well as other communities, then feel free to submit your event at communitydays.org or just search up your city to see what events are near you. And then next, if you're viewing on demand, you can also engage and participate by dropping your questions in our Microsoft Tech Community Driving Adoption event page to engage. You can also share your feedback for our call today, as well as some suggestions for upcoming calls by visiting my link here on the slide. So next, in our next call for next month, we're going to have people skills and the skills agent be featured. So that'll be a great, exciting subject for us all. Feel free to share your feedback. Like I said earlier, join our driving adoption community. If you have questions for, your peers or for us, you can feel free to mention and ask us there. And then invite your colleagues to become a champion because our recordings are posted in the Microsoft Learning channel. And so you can access it there on YouTube. But if you wanted access to, let's say, our PowerPoint slides, a lot of folks were asking for the video that Anubhav shared today in PowerPoint, across the PowerPoint update. So you can also have access to that via being a champion and being going to our exclusive resources page and then downloading that PowerPoint for your use and sharing across your company to showcase these updates.